Welcome to Season 2 of the Pints Perspectives Podcast, hosted by WellHouse Church. This show understands that there is quite a bit of diversity amongst the body of Christ. So we operate according to the motto that certain things are fixed, like the essentials of faith, and the best beer is served on tap, while everything else is just a matter of perspective.
Hey friends, Pastor Cullen here with a quick moment. Adam and I filmed this episode, and we were not thinking. We had a heck of a time filming and had some technical difficulties. We actually filmed and lost 2 entire episodes of content. It was not good. Anyways, in the hustle and bustle of us trying to film, we forgot to mention that this episode was coming out actually on Halloween or on Thanksgiving, the actual day of Thanksgiving. So I did want to come on and say happy Thanksgiving, and we hope everyone has a great holiday.
Hey, Cullen.
What's up, bro?
Who is the defending world champion baseball
Gods?
Team. Gods?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, Gods.
The Houston Astros.
That's right.
Everybody wants some.
Come
get some.
I just need to say it over and over again because next year, who knows?
Well, you know.
If you want us, come get us. Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh. Who
want
needs
Houston?
Carlos Correa?
Carlos who?
Uh-huh. Jeremy Pena?
Hey, we're in my house again. You might notice. I hope you like the change of setting.
It's fun.
Spices it up a little bit. Keeps
Yeah.
it interesting.
It's fun.
Have you liked? Have you subscribed?
They have not.
Have you shared?
They have not.
What are we going to do with you guys? What are we going to do?
Hopefully get them to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, I know it.
I don't know how to ask them any more nicely, though.
We're just going to keep making content until we badger them to the point of liking us more.
I love that tactic. It sounds great.
What are we drinking today?
So I'm actually drinking something that I've never had.
Ooh!
So Yellow Rose, pretty famous. Like, they have IPAs.
Magnolia, Texas, baby.
Magnolia, Texas.
Which is,
That's
if you don't know, that's basically Houston. Just north of here, about 40 minutes.
Ugh.
No, I know.
You make me sick.
Close enough.
You make me sick. It's Montgomery County.
I know. We don't, sorry, Montgomery County, but close enough.
Okay, brewed and canned in Magnolia, Texas. It is close by, but like Back Pew Brewing, do you know them?
I don't.
They're in New Caney.
Oh, yeah.
I don't call that almost Houston.
Definitely not Houston. New Caney, y'all are not.
Magnolia is the
further.
same.
It's further, maybe. yeah. It's fine. Okay, well, you talk about this beer, and then I'm going to talk about this beer.
Okay, so this is Lone Pint Brewery. That's the name of the brewery. Their Yellow Rose IPA is their most common. This is the Yellow Rose Smash.
Well, all the Yellow Rose are smash. It's single malt and single hop.
Okay.
Single malt, single hop. Look, here's the deal with this beer. The reason why we have it is because Cullen forgot to bring beer today. That's okay, because I also own lots of beer. This is my favorite IPA on the planet.
What?
I think this is the best IPA Texas produces.
What?
And I keep it in stock all the time.
What?
It came out in like 2013. Okay, look. So this beer used to be seasonal from Lone Pint. It wasn't a regular beer. I think 2013, 2012, 2014, somewhere in that range, they released it under a different name. It was like something Yellow Rose. And if you're a Texan, Yellow Rose is a famous historical character from the Texas Revolution. Anyways, it used to be out under a different name, and it got so popular and was in such high demand, they started making it year-round, which is when it became Yellow Rose Smash, single malt, single hop. I love it.
Well, it's 6.8% ABV, and I do love IPAs, so we'll see.
It's going to go off. Okay, this beer is from our good friend, Abby Madden. She has family in, what
Arkansas.
state? Arkansas. Is that where this is from?
Well, that's where she has family.
Yeah. Well, so she went up there, and she had this beer that apparently you can only buy up there, and it's a brown ale called La Brea. She brought it back for us to review. Cullen's not a big brown ale fan. I love them. And if you just listen to the most recent, like the previous episode, I gushed over St. Arnold's brown ale that no longer exists. And brown ales aren't super common. Like, they're kind of hard to find.
And this, it's too hot.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's so hot.
But I love them.
Speaking of browns, there's a great brown ale that has a nut adjunct. They call it the Nut Brown Ale from Lazy Magnolia Brewing in Mississippi.
Oh, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Okay.
I'll get one. I'll let you try it.
Well, this is from Fossil Cove Brewing Company, La Brea Brown Ale. It is 6% alcohol by volume, 18 IBUs. That's very low, but for a brown ale, that's exactly what I'm looking for. 12 fluid ounces in a can. It is, I appreciate this can. You want to know what hops it has? Sitz hop and Willamette. No idea.
I don't know either of those.
Malts, Pilsen, Munich, wheat, caramel, chocolate. Aroma is chocolate, spice, and dried fruit. And taste is citrus, dried fruit, chocolate, and bread. It's a meal in a can. It is from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Fossil Cove Brewing. And I am excited. It also has a dinosaur on it because it's a fossil.
Well, it's a fossil.
So cheers.
Cheers.
I can't wait for you to try Yellow Rose.
Oh my God. I opened it and just like smelled plants coming out
the aroma.
of it. Yeah, it's great.
Single hop. Jeez. Okay, you go first.
Not as hoppy as I was expecting it to be. It's quite balanced.
It's extremely balanced, go ahead.
It's quite balanced, which is not usually my preferred way of going with IPAs.
This is the deal with Smash IPAs. You've only got one hop and one malt in there.
Yeah.
And you do it right. It's balanced.
It's very balanced. Very balanced. And the malt is like, it's not like a Pilsner malt.
Nope.
Which is pretty common in some IPAs to like have a base Pilsner malt. It's got some darkness to it. It's got some roasted flavor.
Oh, I like it.
Which is so interesting to have in an IPA.
It's very floral.
Extremely floral. But it has that like roasted flavor from that malt. Man, that's quite good.
I don't know what hop they use. Do they say?
No.
It's not on the can. We could Google it, but
it's not. I'm not guessing that it's super out there. I'm thinking
62 IBUs though.
Yeah, so I did notice that when you were commenting on the low IBUs of that one. Yeah, I think I'm at like an 8.1.
Ooh, fire.
Yeah, that is really good.
I love it. Okay, Fossil Cove, La Brea Brown Ale. I love this. I am in love with this beer.
Yeah? Does it take the new top spot?
I think it does. It's unfortunate that I can't get it here.
Well, you know.
The can says the La Brea Brown is a Belgian-inspired brown ale brewed with a blend of ale. Okay, wait, hold on. That's not the part I was going to read to y'all. With subtle spices, it pairs good with all things. That's funny. But no, it really does. Like the chocolate note is what I love from Fat Tire.
Yeah.
It's so pronounced here.
Yeah.
The subtle sweetness, the hops is real low. Like, look, this is probably my favorite beer on the planet. That's got 62 IBUs. This has 18. Okay, so I'm not judgmental, right? I drink all beers, and this thing here is one of the best brown ales. It's got a little bit of spice. It's complex. It's very malty. It's got 5 different malts in it.
Dang.
Oh, I love it. Well done, Fossil Cove and Abby for transporting it across state lines.
Yeah. Which is not illegal, so it's fine.
Not illegal. They just can't ship it.
You just can't mail it.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid.
What are we doing here?
So stupid.
Removing democracy from the country and not allowing us to ship beer across state lines. Who knows?
Or ship spirits inside of state lines in Texas.
Which doesn't make any sense.
None.
What sense?
Absolutely none.
You let us go buy it to go at the restaurant. Anyways.
Backwards nonsense of Texas politics and governance.
You know what? Texas forever, but I will constantly fight the GOP. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, me too.
What are we talking about today, Cullen?
We are talking about my correction.
Cullen was wrong. Cullen made a lot of mistakes last time.
I did. Okay, so Adam and I, we filmed the Judgment episode just before this, and we're now filming this episode, which we're calling The Way Hell Has Been Shaped by Literature.
Hell and Literature.
We've actually filmed both of these before.
I hate double work.
I know, me too.
It is my biggest pet peeve in life. But when you're dealing with a lot of technology and technical, on-the-road setups.
Adam and I bonded after that mess up over some of Adam's own blunders in technological issues.
Hey, that's fair.
So we filmed these 2 episodes, and then I messed up the audio.
Yeah, you did.
And so this is the second time we're filming it. But we are filming it because I messed up.
on an earlier
episode, on something about hell, and I don't remember. I've already edited it, and I don't remember how much I cut out. But we talk about Dante's Inferno.
Yes, we do.
And when I was editing it, I was going, wait, I need to fact check myself on some of this because I'm not sure this is true.
Hey, look, you need to donate to WellHouse so that we can hire a full-time fact checker for Cullen. You know what I'm talking about?
That's true. So I fact checked myself, and my Dante work was a little strange. I remembered some high pieces, but it needed to be fleshed out more. And so I don't know how much I cut out. I don't know how much I left in. I don't even know if it's published yet. But I don't remember. So we'll figure it out.
What day is it?
Yeah, I don't remember. So yeah, here we go. We're going to do Hell in Literature, and we got some books here. We could start with Dante since we're already on it, or we could start with Paradise Lost because I know you got lots of things to say about the way Paradise Lost has shaped this.
Well, we've talked about Paradise Lost on the podcast before. I think Paradise Lost has shaped the Western, American evangelical view of heaven and hell. I know we're talking about hell right now.
Yeah.
But really the relationship between, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see these things. So go watch us on YouTube in addition to listening to us in your car. Paradise Lost has done a lot to shape our view of heaven and hell, but I think predominantly our view of Satan and demons and angels and how they interact with humanity. We've also talked about screw tape letters.
Well, we talked about that on the episode that didn't get that had
right.
No
well,
audio.
I know.
Yeah.
I want you to bring that back up though. I couldn't find my copy of Screw Tape Letters. It's in there somewhere. I have too many books. And then the Aeneid, you probably are not that I bet most people aren't that familiar with the Aeneid.
Latin based.
It is a Roman
epic
mythology. It's an epic. It's an epic is the genre, but it is a Roman mythology, and it's really a response to and like a retelling of the Odyssey, which is a Greek epic, the first epic, right? Like the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
To be fair, the first epic is Job. He just doesn't move, but he's definitely on a journey.
Christians, am I right?
No.
I'm messing with you.
Okay.
So this is where we get. You've probably heard of Virgil in the in his journey to hell.
Yep.
And from heaven to hell. Though you're probably not that familiar with this book, it is foundational to the Western conception of heaven and hell.
It's also foundational to Dante.
So look, you're preaching my sermon for me.
Go ahead.
Right? So we get Homer. Okay, apparently we get Job. But then we get Homer, who tells this epic. And then you get Virgil, who comes in and says, okay, I'm going to tell a better epic.
Yeah.
But still uses the same. Greek mythology and Roman mythology is... I'm not a classics scholar, but it's very similar, right? Like you have the same gods with different names. It's like a retelling.
Well, it's like the structure and the form is still there.
Same.
They just like manipulated to the Roman culture over the Greek culture.
Exactly, right? And so this is kind of like the Roman version of the Odyssey. And then you have another epic writer come along who's Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman type, but just
and significantly later.
Later.
Almost 1,200 years later.
Right. But he says, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write an epic. But what Dante does specifically is he really outlines his view of hell. and he predominantly in the Inferno.
In the Inferno.
In the
So
Inferno.
Dante actually writes something called the Divine Comedy.
The Divine Comedy
and
comes
it has
first.
the Inferno, Purgatory, and Paradiso.
Paradiso. I couldn't remember it. And so the topic of this conversation is hell. That's why the Inferno's here, and I don't have copies of Paradiso.
Well, I have the full Divine
whole
Comedy.
Yeah. But we're at my house.
But we're at Adams.
And then after that, then you have Paradise Lost. So if we're
Right,
talking chronology,
yeah. So it's definitely the Odyssey, then the
Aeneid.
Aeneid, then the Divine Comedy, and then
Paradise
John
Lost.
Milton is not until like 1600s.
Correct.
In England.
And he's English, yeah.
Yeah. So you have quite the gambit here between. You've got a Greek in the Odyssey.
Right.
And that's like 600 BC, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have a copy. It's in there. I can go get it.
The Aeneid, I don't remember what it's...
I don't know. I should have done our research.
Yeah, I don't remember when it's written, but it's definitely earlier than...
It's at the height of Roman imperialism.
Correct. Which would have been, around the time of Jesus.
Right.
And then you have Dante in like somewhere between 12 and 1400 in Italy. So once again, you have a shift in geography.
Right.
And then
Cultural perspective.
correct. And then you have Paradise Lost in England about 400 years after Dante. And they're all trying to do something about the same thing. Yeah, so, Dante dies in 1321.
There you go.
So it's, I think he begins it in like 1306, right after his excommunication or something. It's done by like 1315.
Right.
Something along those lines. Yeah, so... and Screwtape Letters is the latest version of that.
Yeah.
Because that's C.S. Lewis in the 50s or 60s or whatever.
Right.
So we can go through them, and we should probably begin with Virgil, because Virgil is Dante's guide through the Inferno and parts of Purgatory. But remember, Virgil is not a Christian. So Virgil cannot be Dante's guide into paradise.
Oh, interesting.
And so the love of his life, not his wife, might I mind you, but the love of his wife named Beatrice.
Right. This is what you're correcting from a
This
previous
is what
episode.
I'm correcting.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
She becomes his guide into paradise.
Mm-hmm.
So, Virgil leads Dante through the Inferno, and it has 9 rings. Hell has 9 rings, and it is a descent. Like the entire comedy is...
It's like a funnel.
But it's a two-way funnel.
Yeah.
Right? So it goes...
It's like an hourglass. An hourglass.
Right, an hourglass. No, other way. Inverted hourglass.
Oh, right.
Because you got the most people up here in the least parts of hell,
Correct.
the fewest at
That's
the
right.
bottom.
That's
Then you have the most people in purgatory, and then the reshaping of it at the top, where the fewest people get to the highest parts of paradise.
Hey, honestly, if you Google, you could Google this. They're like geometric renderings of all of this.
For sure.
If you Google Dante's.
So,
yeah, anyways.
Dante's Inferno, like the first thing, it's the list.
I am not that familiar with the Inferno. I got to be honest. I did a lot more work in these other books.
Yes.
I did read it, but
so it starts in this these like dark woods.
okay.
And you go through this gate, and above the gate, let me see if you underlined it. Above the gate,
I'm looking at all my notations in these other books.
I wish I should have brought my copy.
Yeah, you probably don't know where it is in mine.
Above the gate.
Of the entrance.
Of the entrance into hell. Do you remember what it says? It's something about God's justice. It's like the justice of God must prevail or something along those lines.
I don't remember. I do not. If only we had saved the recording of that previous conversation.
Oh, here we go. The poets pass the gates of hell and are immediately assailed by the cries of anguish. The heaven of the small, of the soul of the soul. Limbo. That's what it's called. They're in limbo.
Limbo.
Yeah, limbo.
That's where you get the idea of limbo.
Right. It's the first ring of hell. That's right. And then, so that's limbo is the first ring of hell.
To be clear, which is not a biblical concept. It is a Dante concept.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So you enter into limbo, and then you descend through the parts of hell with Virgil.
Right.
Okay? And those are defined by the 7 deadly sins. The next 7 are defined by the 7 deadly sins.
Each layer of hell is a deadly sin.
And it is a hierarchy.
Yes.
They get progressively worse. And then the final version of hell, which is also what I'm correcting from the previous one.
Yes.
Because the final version of hell, the 9th ring or circle, is arguably the most important for what Dante is trying to communicate. Because the 9th ring is all about betrayal.
Okay.
And this is what I messed up on, is I was saying that Beatrice, the true love of his life,
Yes.
not his wife,
Yes.
her husband was in that ring. He's not.
Okay.
He's not in that ring. Who is in that ring is, number 1, Satan.
Right.
And also, we should
Big winged demon thing.
note that the 9th ring of hell is actually not hot.
It's not on fire.
It's frozen.
Right. Why is that, Cullen?
Because this winged 3-headed beast named Satan.
Oh, he has 3 heads in Dante?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important why he has 3
No,
heads.
I know it. Yeah. You're jogging my memory here. Yeah.
He has 3 heads, and he's a winged creature that's chained to the bottom. But he is flapping his wings so hard to try to get to where God is. He's freezing hell over.
Right. He's literally cooling the air.
He's freezing hell over. And so down in there with him are only 3 people.
Oh, I found what the sign says.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Okay, that's not the gate I'm talking about. So that
Dante-
I remember that one. That's the first gate. That's the one right outside the dark woods.
Dante passes through the gate of hell after the dark woods, which bears an inscription ending with the phrase, but it is Latin. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Yeah, when they move limbo and they go into the ring with the 7 deadly sins, that middle layer or that
Gotcha.
middle chamber of those 7 layers,
Yes.
there's another gate that they pass through that has another statement that says something about God's justice.
Okay. I'm following.
If I remember editing Cullen, yes, I talk to myself when I edit. Go back and find it and put it in the description. So there are 3 people down in there,
Right.
on top of Satan.
Right.
One of them, so the entire thing is about betrayal. The entire ring, the 9th circle, the deepest pits of hell,
The bottom of hell.
are about betrayal. Because the worst thing you can do is betray someone you love.
Right.
Do you remember who the 3 people are down there?
I don't. The Pope is in there somewhere.
No, he's in another ring.
Hold on, wait. Judas.
Judas, the betrayer of Jesus, is definitely
Because
in
of
there.
betrayal. And Benedict Arnold, the betrayer of the American Revolution. No, I'm just joking. That's silly.
That's way later. Brutus and Cassius.
Oh, from the Romans.
From Julius
From
Caesar.
Julius
They're
et
the
tu- et tu
betrayers.
Brute.
That's right. They're the betrayers of Julius Caesar.
Stab him in the back. That's where you get the idea of being stabbed in the back. It's from
Correct.
Julius Caesar.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so those 3 characters are in the mouth of Satan.
Oh, yeah. They're standing in the mouth of Satan as he's flapping his wings, chained to hell.
Yep.
Eesh.
That is Dante's understanding of hell. Now, isn't it interesting that Dante's version of hell never persists?
Oh, okay. Like in popular, like that's not your conception of hell in America, that it's cold with only 3 people at the bottom of it.
Well, I'd love to think about it that way, but no, it's not.
I don't believe in hell, but anyways, go ahead. We're getting there.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because honestly, if you look at all of these, Dante's is the one that probably is the most complete picture of like afterlife storytelling.
Well, he takes one thing I do know about Dante in his Divine Comedy is it's very Aristotelian.
Very much.
I actually have
fully given over.
I left my Aristotle. I was like, how many books should I bring out?
Yeah,
it's an Aristotelian
ethic.
He takes Aristotle's ideas and then he takes Christian, like the 7 deadly sins. He takes this biblical concept of sin and cursing, and he molds those together to create what he thinks is like the inverted hourglass situation.
Correct.
So it is interesting that it doesn't, but those other rings, what's going on in those other rings, I think has impacted our view of hell, suffering, torment.
Okay, yes. So that is the thing is each ring that's dedicated to a deadly sin, the punishment of that sin is like that sin at extreme, like to the point that it's torment.
Right, an overindulgence of the sin.
That's the only piece of this that's persisted.
Yeah.
Because even like we don't even have the hierarchy in it. Because remember, they go down and it gets worse and worse.
Right.
Right. We don't even have the hierarchy in it anymore in American Christianity.
It is interesting that we kind of have reverted back to a Greek mythological version of hell, where Hades, right? Like if you've watched Hercules, the Disney movie. I'm currently reading through the Percy Jackson series with my son.
Attaboy.
And Hades is a prominent figure. And so the way in Greek mythology, the way that you get to hell or Hades, so Zeus and Hades are brothers. They have a third brother. His name is Poseidon.
Yep.
Right? So you have the god of the waters, the god of the air, the heavens, and then the god of the underworld, Hades. I think this is also where sometimes we get this idea that like God and Satan are equals. And there are some ancient texts that say that is it Jesus and Satan are brothers? That's like a apocryphal text, I think. Anyway, sorry.
Well, that's Gospel of Thomas.
Gospel of Thomas. There you go. But I think it comes from Greek mythology. I think it comes from this idea that Zeus and Hades were brothers. So what happens
I actually think it comes from the concept that
good and evil are equal.
Well, no, that if they weren't equal, God should prevail so much faster.
Right, because he should win. Anyways, we could talk about that concept, why evil persists in the world if you have an omnipotent God who could destroy it.
Maybe the next series we do will be one about the problem of evil.
Oh, we will need to do 3 episodes. That is my hang up.
We'll probably need to do like wall. 8.
Yeah, right. So anyways, so in Greek mythology, you have this idea. And so the way that you get into hell in Greek mythology is you die. And then after you die, your soul travels down the river Styx with a guide.
Which is in Dante.
Right. Well, it's in Virgil.
Yep.
It's right. You travel down
the river Styx.
The river Styx. And you have a guide. And then you get to the gates of hell. And then like the Cerberus is there, like the 3-headed dog.
Yep.
And then, yeah. Anyways.
That's the adverse figure to St. Peter at the gates at heaven.
Sort of kind. I get
it's it's the gatekeeper of hell.
That's a great point. And then you get into hell, and then you end up in there's multiple levels in Greek Hades' concept of hell as well.
Sure.
There's only like 2. I should have done more research on this, but I've been reading Percy Jackson. it's all in there. But you have a Satan, who is Hades, right? And he's in charge of all of it. And he's basically dictating how people are suffering. So it is a different concept of hell, but that I feel like has persisted, to your point, that Dante's concept has not.
It has not. And there are things that have kind of hung around.
Also, Hades is a blue flame, not a red flame in Greek mythology. So to your cold versus hot. It's also dark, lightless, except for Hades.
Well, that's the 9th ring.
Right,
The rest of them can see in Dante, but the 9th ring is dark.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not true. There's one of the 7 deadly sins that darkness is one of the tormenting punishments. I can't remember which one, though.
I don't remember.
One of them, it's definitely about darkness, though. I think it's the lust one.
Okay.
because they can't see. Yeah.
Ooh,
I think
clever.
so. I can't remember.
Clever Dante.
Don't quote me on that one.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
We'll have to do a whole other correction episode.
No, I won't. I'll forget to press.
Just go Google.
I'll forget to turn the volume up.
Again, donate so we can hire a fact checker.
And a podcast producer to help us not make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost. Okay, so I want to have this conversation because I do think you're right that Paradise Lost has shaped our American evangelical construct of demons and Satan and all of that.
The apple in the garden?
Yeah. All of that comes from here.
That's not in the damn Bible. That's in. Oh gosh, I said damn Bible. That is not in God's holy word. That is in Paradise Lost.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to do, after this episode, our next episode is going to be one dedicated to Satan. I listened to a podcast by The Bible for Normal People with Pete Enns.
Yes.
And they brought in a guy that's an expert on Satan, and he talked about the way the character of Satan developed through the biblical text, and I was fanboying.
Let's go.
He's so right. So I want to talk about this and Screwtape Letters, which RIP, you can't find your copy.
It's in there somewhere. I'll find it.
What do you think most about Paradise Lost shaped like the understanding of demons and cosmic evil for American evangelicalism?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is the idea that demons are trying to think of the right language. They are individual personalities.
For sure. Screwtape Letters.
Which C.S. Lewis does the same thing.
He furthers that.
Individual personalities who have limitations on their power. So in Paradise Lost, Satan, the devil, I guess this is in Screwtape Letters too. Interesting. Where like Satan basically assigns demons to do certain tasks.
Yeah.
To screw with humanity.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in Screwtape Letters, Screwtape does it to Wormhole, which is his nephew. That's like the way Screwtape Letters is structured is like one demon for every human. And like that demon is there to tempt, and
that's the assignment.
Yeah, that's the assignment. And then there's a hierarchy of the demon, like it's like a military structure. Yeah. And so Wormhole Wormwood, I think is his name. Wormwood is down here tormenting this, which they call the client or the patient.
Yeah,
one of them.
Interesting. I haven't read a long
It's the patient.
time.
I think they call it the patient. Anyway, so he torments. It's like a devil and an angel on a shoulder kind of concept. Yeah. And then you have like this hierarchy above them, which, to be fair, you can also get some from the biblical understanding, because like you have Michael, the archangel that's like fighting the battles, and Daniel. Then you have Gabriel, the messenger angel, right? He's there for Daniel. Well, he's there for Daniel. He's the one delivering the message to Daniel.
Really? Gabriel's in Daniel too?
Yeah, because remember, he goes, hey, I tried to come the minute you started praying, but I was held up by the prince.
That was Michael. That's Michael.
No, listen. It's in Daniel, and Gabriel comes and he says, hey, I tried to come the minute you started praying, but the Prince of Persia held me up. I had to go get Michael to fight him so I could come here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
which is some other demonic
demonic figure of some kind. Yeah, that they've named the Prince of Persia. But yeah, so like you get this idea that like angels or these angelic beings have like designed roles, even in the biblical text. That's not unique to Paradise Lost or Screwtape Letters. They're just like they're mirroring the angelic hierarchy that we see in the Bible.
Yeah, and I just think we also all of these texts, but Paradise Lost in particular and Screwtape Letters in particular reinforces the concept that angels and demons are actively impacting and influencing, as you said, the day-to-day lives, choices, actions, feelings, thoughts of humans.
Exactly.
And is that biblical?
Well, only if you...
The fact that demons...
Only if you want to, like, use it as a springboard for everybody else, but Jesus is tempted by the devil.
The devil, not demons. The devil is a demon. Look, see, man.
I mean, well, but see, this is why we need to have the conversation about Satan.
Right. Chief demon, Lucifer.
Well, but see, that's all made up too.
I know, man.
The bearer of light, and that whole thing.
And the dragon who sweeps away a third of the stars from the skies. That's in Revelation, though.
Well, there's that whole thing about the stars falling from favor in Ezekiel, and everybody's
I watched the morning star fall from heaven.
Yeah, that's some nonsense. That's about the king of Babylon.
It is.
Yeah, it's not
a political commentary.
Yeah, it's not about Satan at all. It's about the king of Babylon.
Punditry.
Yes, exactly. But we could do a whole nother episode about the way that like film has done this, because there's also the Adam Sandler movie Lil Nicky. Yeah,
but think of Bruce Almighty. Okay, hold on.
There's
go back.
No hell in Bruce Almighty.
Well, I'm just saying like these ideas of heaven and hell. But sorry. Let's stay on hell. Little Nicky is the son of Satan.
I don't remember if he's the son or not. It's been a hot minute since I watched this movie, but he's definitely related to Satan.
Yeah.
And like he's out living in the world trying to torment the world.
Yeah. There's so much of this, man. Charlie Daniels, the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was way behind. He was low on time. And he was willing to make a deal.
Yeah. Well, and there's, you're talking about Charlie Daniels. Robert Johnson is arguably like maybe the father of blues music.
Yep.
Like definitely one of the great blues musicians of all time. And like the rumors about him are that
is he the Crossroads guy?
Yes.
I went down to the Crossroads.
And I made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And he came back.
Sold his soul to the devil for musical ability.
For musical ability, and came back being able to play lights out on the guitar.
Yeah.
And blues music, like Zydeco, like just lighting all of it up. African-American man in the 1800s. Maybe not, late 1800s. Yeah, Robert Johnson. Like, these things persist throughout the culture.
They do.
For sure. And, like, if you want to do biblical, like, there's an interesting conversation that we need to have, and I don't know where to do it in here. But you remember when, in the Old Testament, when Saul is in the middle of his battle with David, about David taking over, and Saul goes to a mediary.
And he practices necromancing. He speaks to the dead. He has a seance.
He has a seance with Samuel.
I couldn't remember who it was.
And do you remember
the
what
Bible
Samuel,
is wild.
Wild, bro. It's wild. Y'all should read it.
There is crazy stuff.
There's crazy stuff. I think this is in 2 Samuel. No, it's in 1 Kings.
He does.
No, it's in 2 Samuel.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it is 2 Samuel. It is.
Because 1 Kings picks up with David.
Yep.
2 Samuel. Samuel says, "Why have you awakened me from my slumber?"
Slumber, yes.
He's not in heaven. He's not in hell.
Soul sleep.
But he's also not in Sheol.
Nope.
And he's not in what we would now call Abraham's bosom, which is like that place that, or maybe, I don't know. But he says, "Why have you awakened me from my slumber?" And so this concept of like the spiritual, like the immaterial and the material mingling, which Lil Nicky is what made me think about this, and like this intermingling of them, that persists. That's age old. I mean, think back to Lot in Genesis 19. It's two embodied angels that show up that Lot's trying to protect from the gang rape of all the men.
That's true. And I'm also thinking of like the rich man and Lazarus. Isn't this a Jesus
This is the
parable?
Abraham's bosom thing. Like, he can see out, but they can't see down. And he's like, "Will you just let my brother dip his finger in water and put it on the tip of my tongue?"
Which is where we get this idea of hot.
And the lake of fire.
Lake of fire.
I don't remember where Jesus does that, but Jesus has this one apocalyptic moment where he like does mention a lake of fire.
Right. It's just,
but like fire,
purification. Fire
that's
is
right.
Purification.
You cannot think about fire as like this negative thing like we do, because we're prone to the news and arson, right? Like we burn crap down.
Well done.
That's not how you should think about it. Think about Isaiah.
Yeah,
right.
Coals on the lips.
Coals on the lips. I am a man of unclean lips. And so he touches him with a hot coal, and he says, "Here I am, Lord."
Well, and even in Daniel, you get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which is their Babylonian names. Their actual names are Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael are their Hebrew names.
Go off! Look at you. I didn't even remember their
and
Hebrew names.
And they are put into what? The furnace, the flames
that they heat up 7 times.
And what happens?
So that the people that even throw them in die.
Yeah, which is, come on, man. So you get this concept, but they come out not even smelling like smoke.
Not even smelling like smoke.
So for all the pious Christians out there, if you refer to them as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you are a pagan. It is Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael.
You're at least giving power over to Babylon.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah. Also, look, man. So we have this. I just think it's fascinating how pop culture grabs onto religious concepts, and then look. So this is a point that I've made, I think, a few times. I think The Simpsons.
You have made this comment so many times.
I think The Simpsons offer the best long-running, well, it is the longest-running cultural commentary on American evangelicalism.
Well, so why do you think that they're a commentary on American evangelicalism, though? Because I'm not sure I would agree with you. I think they're the longest running commentary on American culture.
Well, yes, I mean that.
But American culture and white evangelicalism are not synonymous.
No. Oh, no, I know. Okay, yes. The longest running commentary on American culture.
Okay, got it. Because I really think South Park is the longest running commentary on American evangelicalism.
Okay, that's fair. But what I'm thinking of is Reverend Lovejoy.
Yeah. Oh, you mean in the character base?
Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
Is everyone I went to church with. Yeah. And Maude and the boys.
Yeah.
And it is this over the top, which, good comedy is in extremes. Over the top example of what the evangelical, there's so much that goes on in these series about the hypocrisy of it all, or just how lame it is. But there's also episodes about, they do all sorts of parodies of the Garden of Eden, of heaven, of God, this old white bearded man in the sky, but also Satan. I'm also thinking of the Jack Black. What's that Jack Black song where he what is it? Jack Black and his brother had a band. They were called something, and then they made a song about the devil, and it was very popular in the early 2000s. Comment below. But we have this consistent concept of this horned, red, pitchfork-wielding, spiky-tailed demon figure. I'm slapping Paradise Lost because this is where these concepts come from.
It all came from there.
That lives in this underground bunker filled with fire. Little Nicky.
Yep.
It portrays this very well. And somehow when we die, our disembodied spirit ends up in that same location to be tortured for eternity by this pitchfork-wielding red demon thing.
Yeah. Well, and yeah.
Which is not the Bible.
It's not the Bible. And we should talk next week about how that character evolves.
We're going to talk about Satan. Let's talk about Satan. The Hasatan.
Thanks for listening to the Pints Perspectives Podcast hosted by WellHouse Church. Be sure to give us a rating and review if you enjoyed the episode. It's free and it helps us immensely. Also, feel free to check out our other podcasts.